All right, welcome back, Cubs and Lions. Welcome to our craft edition of Tuesday, May 12th. We are going to need some white paper, some green, and if possible, a second shade of green. So a lighter green and a darker green. If you don't have two colors of green, that's totally okay. Or if you want to use some white paper and color green and use that, that would be totally okay too. So I'm gonna use my white paper. This is my background paper, okay? And you're going to need some scissors, and glue stick. Now, I have taken my darker green, and it's a nice big sheet, so I've taken it, and what I've done is folded it in half because I want two layers. So I thought, since we kind of talked about seeds yesterday and we saw those nice juicy peas in the pea pod, I thought we could make a pea pod today. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut on that folded line, and you might want to draw it out, but you don't have to. You can kind of just estimate. So I'm going to cut it out and make a little pea pod shape. Okay, see how it turns out. All right, so I have a little pea pod. It is folded, so I have two layers. Now what I'm going to do is glue one side to my white paper. Okay, my trusty glue stick, and we'll see how it works today on the construction paper. Notoriously doesn't like to stick very well, but we'll give it a try. So put some glue on that, just on one side, so just this part, not the other. Okay, and then I'm going to take my white paper, glue it on. Right, now I have a pea pod that's open. Okay, all right, now what you can do is, I'm making three, not for any particular reason other than three will hopefully fit in my pea pod. But depending on how large you want your peas to be, I just made them really big. So I've taken a little cup and I have traced out circles. And so I have 3 peas to go into my pea pod. Now, if you want to make this a little bit more personal, make one for each person in your family. Draw their face on the pea pod, and you'll be a group of peas in a pod, right? Or maybe just your siblings. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to cut those out, remembering as we use our scissors, thumb on top, fingers on the bottom, chicken wing in. Helping hand is the one that moves the paper. Okay? Okay, so making sure that you're doing a nice job of closely cutting it out on those circles, making sure that your scissors are right on that line in order to get the best circle, remembering that your chicken wing is in. This arm's not moving at all other than my fingers to open and close, and my helping hand is the one that moves. And notice too that I'm not doing those big, long, straight snaps. I am just doing small little snips with the middle kind of part, the inside of the scissors. Okay. Now you should be getting some, or should have already gotten some emailed stuff, maybe some printable activities that you're able to do. There's a patterning one, so we could work on some patterns, and there are a few others as well. Okay, so I have my 3 peas. I'm gonna do 3. Maybe I should do 4 since there are 4 people in my family. We're gonna do a little family pea pod. Woo, my green paper will come back. Okay, so cutting out my 4th pea pod. And there it is. Perfect. Okay, so I have 4 little peas. I am going to use my glue stick to glue them into the pod, and then we will close it up, and you'll want to glue it on. You could leave the pea pod kind of open a little bit, maybe just to give it a little bit of texture so it kind of jumps off the page at you. And then if you're doing the family pea pod, which I think is super cute, try writing your family's names above each pea. And remember, you could draw a face for each one and just make them each a little bit individual. Give them some facial features, eyes, nose, a smile. Okay, I'm going to glue those in to the pod. Hopefully they fit. So keep in mind as you're cutting out your pea pod to make sure that they will fit inside your pod. And I kind of overlapped mine just slightly. I would change that if I could, just to keep them all on the inside of that pod. Okay? All right. Good. And my last one. And for you, when you're writing your little pea pods, so there's my peas fitting inside the pod. I'm going to use a little bit of glue right here to close that pod up. Maybe even right there. We'll see how it goes. So it didn't stay very open, I guess, but that's okay. So what I can do, you could leave your peas sticking out a little bit more out of the pod. Maybe mine are a little bit in kind of deep, but that's okay. I'm liking it. And then I'm going to take a pen or a marker, and you can give them some little faces. Maybe they're just peeking out of the pea pod. Okay. And maybe if your person has freckles or something that you'd like to add to your little peas, you could. Now I'm going to write, so for you, you will write, pick your pea, whoever you are. I'm going to be the one just peeking out. That's going to be me. So I'm going to write my name, Melanie, that's me. And then I'm going to write Kevin, that's Mr. Schultz. And then I'm going to write Taylor, my daughter, and then Isaac. So practice writing some names. Draw a little bit of a detail for your peas, and then write your family names in there. How big is your pod going to be? How many peas are in your pod? I can't wait to see. All right, fantastic. We are going to share, put this here. We're going to share an all about me. This is about Cassie. Cassie is another one of my Lion learners in the morning class. So my name is Cassie, C-A-S-S-I-E, and Cassie is short for Cassandra. I like to eat hot dogs. Yum. I like to play with Hatchimals. How fun. I am 5 years old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. So nice to see more and find out more about Cassie. Okay, friends, I hope you enjoyed our little pea pod creation. I want to see all of your little pea pods and see who's in your pod. Let's read a quick story because, so we've talked about flowers, right? We have talked about seeds. Now let's talk about what we are hoping will grow in my little spider plant and in our sunflower seeds, or whatever seeds it is that you have that you planted yesterday. We need to see some roots, right? So again, this is a Capstone Press book. Plants need roots. Roots keep plants from falling over. Roots grow down into the ground. Look at these roots. They are growing down into the ground. Roots get food for the whole plant. They suck up food and water from the soil. So they pull water and food for the whole plant up from the soil. Roots send food up plant stems. Stems carry the food to the rest of the plant. All kinds of roots. Long tree roots spread out under the soil. They search for water below. Shallow cactus roots soak up rain quickly. They store water inside for the plant. Water lily roots grow down into the mud. The roots keep the plants from growing or floating away. From floating away. So these roots will grow all the way down through the water into the mud below. And then they keep the plant tethered. It's like an anchor for this plant, for the flower, and it keeps it from floating away. Roots we eat. We eat some roots. Carrots are the tap roots of green leafy carrot plants. Have you ever planted carrots? They're delicious when they're fresh from the garden. Turnips are root vegetables. They taste good in soups and salads. So, deep or shallow, thick or thin roots help plants stay alive. And they do that by growing down into the soil and sucking up nutrients and food and water for the plants. Now, remembering parts of a plant, this here is a corn plant. We start with a seed. The roots grow down and the stem grows up. It grows leaves. What are those? That looks like an ear of corn. Could those be the seeds? Yes, those kernels are the seeds for the new plants. All right, that's another one that you could try growing if you wanted to. Take a popcorn kernel, pop it in some wet paper towel, and see what happens. It might grow. You never know. All right, friends. Good to see you today. I can't wait to see the rest of us in our Zoom class, Zoom meetings, and stay tuned for Friday's video. Goodbye.